The notion that the devil wants to keep Christians poor is rooted in the biblical understanding of the spiritual realm and the enemy's tactics to hinder God's plan for humanity. According to Scripture, Satan's primary goal is to steal, kill, and destroy. John 10:10, and one of the most effective ways to achieve this is by keeping believers in a state of financial bondage. Poverty and lack can be a significant stumbling block to a Christian's faith, causing them to doubt God's goodness and provision. The devil's strategy to keep Christians poor is multifaceted. Firstly, he seeks to deceive believers into accepting a poverty mindset, making them believe that they are not worthy of financial abundance or that wealth is somehow evil. This mindset can lead to a lack of faith and trust in God's ability to provide, causing Christians to live in fear and anxiety about their financial situation. The devil uses this mindset to keep believers focused on their lack, rather than on God's promise to provide for their needs. Another way the devil keeps Christians poor is by promoting a lack of knowledge about biblical stewardship and financial management. Many Christians are not taught how to handle their finances in a way that honors God, leading to poor financial decisions and a lack of prosperity. The devil takes advantage of this lack of knowledge, using it to keep believers in a cycle of debt and poverty. By not understanding biblical principles such as tithing, saving, and investing, Christians can find themselves struggling to make ends meet, and the devil uses this struggle to discourage and defeat them. The devil also seeks to keep Christians poor by promoting a spirit of dependency on the world system rather than on God. When believers rely on the government, their employer, or other worldly sources for their financial security, they can become trapped in a system that is often opposed to God's plan. This can lead to a lack of faith and trust in God's ability to provide, causing Christians to seek their financial security in the wrong places. The devil uses this dependency to keep believers in bondage, preventing them from experiencing the financial freedom and abundance that God desires for them. Furthermore, the devil wants to keep Christians poor because it limits their ability to fulfill the Great Commission. When believers are struggling financially, they are often unable to give generously to support missions and ministry, hindering the spread of the gospel. The devil knows that if Christians are financially free, they will be able to support the work of the Lord, leading to an increase in evangelism, discipleship, and church growth. By keeping believers poor, the devil can limit the impact of the church and prevent the gospel from being spread to all nations. In addition, the devil's desire to keep Christians poor is also motivated by a desire to rob them of their joy and peace. When believers are struggling financially, they can become discouraged, anxious, and stressed, leading to a lack of joy and peace in their lives. The devil knows that if Christians are financially free, they will be able to experience the joy and peace that comes from trusting in God's provision, and this would be a significant threat to his plans. By keeping believers poor, the devil can rob them of their joy and peace, making it more difficult for them to live a victorious and fruitful Christian life. In conclusion, the devil wants to keep Christians poor because it serves his purposes of stealing, killing, and destroying. By promoting a poverty mindset, lack of knowledge, dependency on the world's system, limiting their ability to fulfill the Great Commission, and robbing them of their joy and peace, the devil can keep believers in a state of financial bondage, hindering their ability to live a victorious and fruitful Christian life. However, Christians can overcome the devil's plans by trusting in God's provision, seeking knowledge about biblical stewardship, and giving generously to support the work of the Lord. By doing so, believers can experience the financial freedom and abundance that God desires for them, and live a life that is pleasing to Him.